Welcome to the West Virginia Legislature on the West Virginia Channel. I'm Beth Voorhees. Here's a live look into the House chamber at the state capitol in Charleston, where the House of Delegates is scheduled to meet at 5 o'clock for its afternoon floor session. There's no business before the House at this particular floor session. The House Judiciary Committee did meet this afternoon and took up two bills. House Bill 117, relating generally to the promulgation of rules by the Department of Environmental Protection. This was a bill that is on the expanded call that the governor issued today to require that this bill be passed. What the House Judiciary Committee decided to do with this bill, it will originate a new bill to deal with a wood stove issue that derailed the measure on the final night of the 2016 regular session. The governor, in his message to lawmakers, said that the Department of Environmental Protection rules bill is essential because it includes new water standards for selenium limits that are vital to help our state's coal industry. But there is a wood stove provision, an emissions from wood stove provision that the House did not like, and the House did not pass this bill on the final night of the regular session, so it has to be revisited. The House Judiciary Committee also looked at House Bill 116, authorizing the governor to issue executive orders to furlough state employees and pay certain obligations. This is a bill that is on the governor's call for this special session. However, this is not the governor's bill. This bill was introduced in the House. The House Judiciary Committee did approve the bill. It now goes to House Finance. That's the furlough bill. So wait with us while we wait for House Speaker Tim Armstead to call the House into session for this afternoon floor session.
House will be in order. All those not having privileges to the floor will please vacate the chamber. Gentleman from the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to return to the third order of business for the purpose of receiving committee reports.
The gentleman from the 58th asks unanimous consent the House return to the third order of business for the purpose of receiving committee reports. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Reports of standing committees.
Your Joint Committee on Enrolled Bills has examined, found truly enrolled, and on June 1st, 2016, presented to His Excellency the Governor for his action, Senate Bill 1002, expiring funds from various accounts due unappropriated balance in State Fund General Revenue.
Report be received.
Your Committee on Judiciary has had under consideration House Bill 117 relating generally to the promulgation of administrative rules by the Department of Environmental Protection, reports back a committee substitute therefore, with the recommendation that the committee substitute do pass.
Report be received. Gentleman from the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent the bill be taken up for immediate consideration and read a first time.
The gentleman from the 58th asks unanimous consent the bill be taken up for immediate consideration and read a first time. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Clerk, please read the bill first time.
House Bill 117.
Bill be advanced.
Your Committee on Judiciary has had under consideration House Bill 116, authorizing the governor to issue executive orders to furlough state employees and pay certain obligations, reports the same back with amendment, with the recommendation that it do pass as amended, that it be referred to the Committee on Finance.
Report be received and the bill be referred to the Committee on Finance. Gentleman from the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to return to the 13th order of business for leaves of absence.
Gentleman from the 58th asks unanimous consent that the House return to the 13th order of business for the purpose of receiving leaves of absence. Is there objection? Chair hears none. Gentleman from the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Leaves of absence for our colleagues, Delegates Bates, Boggs, Hanshaw, Hicks, Hill, Kerchaba, Markham, Miley, Purdue, R. Phillips, Sponagle, Storch, Treecost, and Westfall.
Without objection, leaves will be granted. Miscellaneous business. Gentleman from the 58th.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Subject to announcements, I move the House adjourn until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Are there announcements? Gentleman from the 64th, Delegate Householder.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Finance will meet tomorrow, June 2nd, now at 9:30 instead of 9 that was stated earlier, 9:30 in the House Finance Committee room, and the agenda will be posted.
Gentleman from 38, Delegate Lane.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the Committee on the Judiciary will meet in the morning at 9 a.m.
Gentleman from the 66, Delegate Espinosa.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think as most members are aware, we heard the news of Dr. Martirano's wife passing on Monday, May the 30th. So in just a moment, I will ask that you please stand and observe a moment of silence. As arrangements are known, we'll certainly share those with the clerk's office so that all members will be apprised. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
If the members in gas would please rise for a moment of silence. Members may be seated. Gentleman from the 38th, Delegate Lane.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I apologize in my excitement to get to work tomorrow morning. I said 9 a.m. and it should be 9:30 a.m. The Judiciary Committee will meet at 9:30 a.m.
Lady from 31st, Delegate Arbon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Your Committee on Government Organization will meet tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. in the Government Organization Committee Room, 215 East. The agenda is posted.
Further announcements. If not, the question for the House is the motion by the gentleman from the 58th that the House stand adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow. All those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. Ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. Declare the House adjourned until 11 a.m. tomorrow.
A procedural move there to move bills up to the calendar and over to committees. That's why this particular floor session was so short for this afternoon. Now, why show you these short floor sessions in the Senate and the House? Well, we don't want you to miss anything. At any time, somebody can make a speech, and before you know it, you've got a floor debate on your hands. And we just want to make sure that you don't miss anything. This is a very, very crucial special session. And we want to make sure that we bring it to you as we're obligated to do here on the West Virginia Channel. So the House will convene at 11 o'clock tomorrow. The Senate will gavel in at 10, where a budget bill is on third reading for debate and passage. You'll see that here on the West Virginia Channel starting at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. The Senate Finance Committee did approve a new tobacco tax bill this afternoon at 65 cents a pack. However, the bill will be reported to the floor but moved to the Senate Rules Committee. The Senate doesn't want to act on the bill until it hears from the House that it will take it up and pass it. If the House indicates that it will not pass a tobacco tax at 65 cents a pack, then the bill stalls in the Senate. Please join us tomorrow for our continuing coverage of the first extraordinary session of the 82nd West Virginia Legislature here on the West Virginia Channel. I'm Beth Voorhees for the West Virginia Channel, a service of West Virginia Public Broadcasting.